Quadratic equation solving app. Enter the following number. 1. Solving equation. 2. Is it. For example, I put the number 1 and it says enter a value of a. For example, I put 1. It says enter the value of b. I put -5. And it says enter the value of c. So I put 6. So now the program will calculate the equation for me automatically. So you see that the equation will be x power minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And in this case, you see that the discriminant is greater than 0. So you have two root. And the first one will be 3. And the second one will be 2, like this. So the next, if I want to calculate again, 1 minus 4 and 4. So now you see that in this case it say the current equation x power minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. And after the calculate discriminant, the value will be 0. So since discriminant is 0, there is 1 root, so it calculate to be 1, 2. So example, I put 1 again, and I will put that 1, 2, 5. So you see that it say the current equation x power plus 2x plus 5 equals 0, and calculate the discriminant. Use this formula, and the value of discriminant is minus 16, which is less than 0. So it says since less than 0, they are complex loops. So our complex loops will be this and this one. And after that, if I put the number 2, the program will ask me, do you want to exit the system? If I say no, then I put 10, the program will continue. But if I put 2 and I say yes, the program will exit the system. In this video clip, I will show you how to create the quadratic equation solving app. So to do that, the first I will write in the comment for the about the variable that will be used in the program. So the first we have the OTP, and this one will be the option to choose. Be option to choose the kind of operation. And next we'll use the exist system. This variable we'll use when to exist system when user finish operation. So now we will declare. So we declare integer OTP, and then we declare exist system. This one we declare with the initial value for 1. This. So the next is about the app section. So we write app start like this. And for the app section, we'll use the while loops. So I say while like this. and this one inside here I will write about true. This, and in here I will say and app start, like this. So in this app is about calculate quadratic equation. So inside the while loop we will write the detail of the app. So inside that we will show the message to the user. So I write console dot write, and here we say and quadratic, right? Quadratic equation solving app, for example. So this is about the first message, and the second message we talk about this. It say enter the following number. Enter the following number. This means that we ask the user to put the number or the menu that they want to operate. Console. So we have the first number for number 1. The one we say solve quadratic equation. Solve quadratic equation, and number 2 what is about exist. This program we just have the 2 options, one for solve the equation, and the number 2 when you finish the equation solving you can exit the program, so you put the number 2. So after we show the message, we have to declare the variable to get the value from the user. So in here we use the OPT, right? OPT, this one. So we convert to in st2 and console dot read line like this. So after we get the value, we have to separate, right, that 1 or 2. So in this case I will use the switch by right here the Kai menu, the Kai menu to make operation, and this section I will use the switch. So I say switch and OPT option. So let's say, and just copy this one and paste this. So after that we have write the detail, and for the detail we have the case 1, right? case 1, and we say break like this. So the case 1 we will talk about solving quadratic equation, right? So just write solving quadratic equation like this. And we go to next for the number 2. So the case number 2 is say case 2, and we also have break like this. So the case number 2 we say that is the system when user finish operation. And for the case, we don't have the case number 2, but the last one we had a default, right? So I say default this. So the case default we also have the break, this one. And for the default we just ask the user to put the number 1 or number 2 only, right? So this needs to tell user to input number 1 or 2 only, like this. So now we are going to create a detail for the case number 1. Case number 1, I just click here. For the case number 1, we will create a method for equation solving. So for example, that I created a method called solve quadratic equation, for example like this, and just write this, and I comment that call the method this one, call the method, just copy this one, call the method solve equation quadratic, call this one for quadratic equation solving, for quadratic equation solving like this. And after that I just want to enter new line, so I just say this one, just comment new line, this. So you see that this one has the red underlined because we haven't created this the detail of this method yet, so you have something like this, and I will create that later. But we go to for the number 2 or the case number 2 about the system. So when the user put the number 2, so if you go into the case 2, so in that we will have the detail that to ask the user that do you want to exist the system? Do you want to exist the system. For example, we confirm to the user that whether you want to exist or not. So after that, we'll ask the user to put, for example, yes or no, like this, question mark. And it is, I don't want to enter a new line, so I delete this one. So after you ask the user to put yes or no, you have to declare the variable to get the value. So for example, in here I say string yes or no, get this value. So I just say console dot read line, like this. And after you get a value, you have to separate, right, that is yes or no. So I use the if statement. If yes or no, this one yes, that is. If the value we get from the user is yes, that means we have to stop the program. So we use the variable is this one, we change this value to be 0. And to rewrite about this section, we have to create the if outside, right? We say this one about switch, right? This one about, so we say outside in here. So if is system equals 0, right? This means we will break the while loop, right? So to stop, we have to break the while loop. So I use this one. So in this, we comment that stop the program. Is the system when user finish operation, like this. So this is about the case number 2. The next, we are going to create detail about the default. Default, we just tell the user to input the number 2 or number 1 only. So we have to show some message, console dot write this, and here we say try again, and we say console dot write, and here we put please enter the number, please enter the number 1 or 2 only, like this. And then I want to enter, so I just use set end like this. So now we complete for the default case number 2, but the case number 1 we are not finished yet because we haven't created the detail of the method solve quadratic equation. So from now we are going to create the detail of this. So to do that, we go outside the main method. This one go outside and we'll create about the detail of this equation. So we say static and void, and we say solve, right? We write the name solve quadratic equation like this, and in here we do like this, right? So now you see that the number one, right? You see that this one, or this method, no error, because we create this method table, right? So now we just going to create about the detail. So the first we write some comment in here to make other people understand. So say the quadratic equation, right? The quadratic equation, and the quadratic equation will have the form like this: a x, right, and power, right, 2 and plus b x plus c equal 0, right? And in here you see that we will have a a is not, right? It's not 0, or it's different 0. And so that means we have 3 variable, right? A, B, C, and we use this one equal. We use this value to build equation string, right? So I say build equation string with proper size this. So now we declare for the ABC, we will declare to be double A, B, C, like this, and we will string this one equal this one we declare with 0, like this, or nothing inside that. So after that we will ask the user to input ABC, right, and the program will automatically calculate the solution. So the next session is about input values, right? So it's an input value for A. For example, for A like this. So to do that, and as you know that A is not 0, so we have, when the user put 0, we have to ask back for user that please put the number that is not 0. So to do that, to repeat or to ask back, we have to use the while loop. So to do that, I will use the while loop. Right. And you just write n input value for a, like this. And now we are going to create the detail. So to do that, we ask the user to input. So I say console right say enter value of a, enter value of a, like this. And after that, we have to get the value from the user. So I say a equal convert dot to double, like this, and we say console dot read line, this one. So now we get the value, and then we have to separate the value that 0 or is not. So I say if we use if statement, a equal 0, then we will say console dot write. We say try again, and then we say console dot write that the value of a cannot be 0. The value of a cannot be 0, like this. So, and after that, you ask else a equal 1, then we show the equation to be like this, to be nothing, right? So equal, this one should be like this. Dollar and x power 2, like this. So it means that when the a is 1, that you don't show 1 with x, but if for example 2 or 3, we show that 2x 3x, like this. But in the case number 1, we don't show. And we also have the similarity like this case for the value -1. So we say else if again a equal minus 1. Case like this. In the case like this, we will show there's a minus that. So it's equal plus and we show minus x square 2 or power 2 like this. This means we don't show minus 1x, we just show minus x power 2 like this. And in the case that it's not minus 1, it's not 1, and it's not 0, that means we will use for the else like this. So in the case like that, we say eq plus equal total, and inside in here we say a like this, and then we have x and power 2 like this one. And for the condition that is not 0, we have to break the while loop. So I will put in here break. We have to break, which means that we will go to the next to input the b value. So we have to break. In the case that is break, and this one also break, because we will stop the while loop. But if for the case 0, we don't break, because we will ask back to the user to input again. So we don't break, so we still in the while loop in here. So after that, we will go for input values for b. So now we go next for input value for b, right? And for b, we say b can be any value, right? Even 0. Console dot write, and we just say enter value of b, enter value of b like this. So I don't want to enter new line, so minus this one. So after that, we have to declare the variable to get the value. So we say b equal convert dot to double, and in here we say console dot read line like this. And after that, we have to separate, right? In the case that b is different 0 or is 0, so I will use the if statement. If b is not 0, then the equation will be eq plus equal, and in here we will open this one. So if b is greater than 0, this ask to look like this, then will be like plus, right, b like this. This means that we show the value of b to the console like this, and then we plus by x like this, and then we say otherwise we have this one minus like this, and we say we use the map dot a absolute, right, absolute for b. We use the map function to show that, and after that x. This means that when the value of b is minus, we use the absolute for the value of b, and then we plus the sign minus, and followed by the x like this. So we end this one, and then we will consider for the input values for c. So we say input value for c like this. So this also similar to b, so we say ask the user to put console write this one, enter value of c, enter value of c like this, and after that we use the variable c to get the value to convert to double console dot read line like this one. Okay, so from now we have to consider that the value of b of c is 0 or not. So I also use the if statement. If c is not 0, then we have the equation to be this. C greater than 0 as this, and we say plus c like this, and otherwise we have minus, and here we say math, use the math dot absolute, and say c like this. This means that when we will consider that c 0 or not, right? So when it's not 0, it should be greater than 0 or less than 0. So when greater, we just plus c, but when less than 0, we have to put the sign of minus. So we will do this, and after that we will have the equation EQ have to plus the sign for equal 0. This. So now is the time we complete for to get the value for A, B, C. So now is the time that we have to show the equation to the console. So next I will say show the equation, right? Show the equation to the console. So in here, to do that, we'll use the console dot write this one, and in here we say just this one, the equation, the quadratic equation, the quadratic equation. Just say this one equal like this, and then we want to enter new line, so just select N. So now it's about to show the equation. So the next we will do calculate. So to do that, we will have the calculate the discriminant. So I just say this discriminant. So you have to show that console dot write this one, calculate discriminant, calculate discriminant, and you know that D, right? D stands for discriminant, equal B power and minus 4 AC, like this. So after that we do calculate. Console dot write in here, you say D or discriminant equal in here we have to put this one and B, right, B, and then power, and then minus 4 multiply A, right, and multiply C like this. So after that, just end by semicolon. So the next video, this one we just show to the console. So we have to calculate. So to calculate, we use this one. We say double and we say discriminant equal B multiply B minus 4 multiply A multiply C should be like this, right? So after that, we show that console dot write here we use total. We have D equal, we have B multiply B like this, and then we have minus, right, minus 4 multiply A multiply C like this. And after that, we show the calculation result. Console dot write show that D equal, say inside here discriminant, that is okay. So after we get the value for discriminant, we have to solve for x1 and x2, right? So that we have to separate by using the if statement. For example, in here I use which say solve for x if this one discriminant greater than 0. If greater than 0, this means we have the true solution. So we say console dot write and in here we say sin discriminant is greater than 0, right? Sin discriminant is, this just say is greater than 0. There are two new roots. There are two new roots like this. So we solve that for the numerator. So I say double numerator 1. I have numerator 1. This equal minus b, right, and plus map the square. Map dot square. This one, and in here we use like this criminal like this, and the similar to this. I just copy this one to calculate the numerator number 2. Just change the b to like this, and this one should be minus. Okay, so after that we have to calculate the denominator. So we say double numerator. We have to denominator. So this one, and 2 multiply a this. So after that we have to show, right? So after that we have to show that console dot write this, and in here we have to write for x1. This means that we calculate the solution for x1. And then we say console dot write in here, use this one. So here we say x1, right? x1 equal, and minus, right, b like this. Then plus square root, right? Square root for this criminal. And then divide by 2 multiply a like this. So the next we will do the calculation. Console dot write in here. So inside here we say x1 equal this one, right? Minus b and then plus math square dot square root this discriminant and after that we this one and divide by denominator like this, right? But you see we still have the error about this, so what happened here? Say minus b plus math dot square and discriminant this should be this one, right? So to do that you have to put this one and this one. Just only this one. Then and by denominator, right? Okay, this is all correct. So we go the next for x1 console to right and here. So x1 equal numerator 1 numerator 1 and divide numerator 2. Maybe this one is not correct. I think it should be denominator, right? Okay, so we add this. So after that we go for console dot write and here x1 equal numerator 1, right? Multiply the denominator. This one we don't show, we just calculate, so we don't use the other sibun. So we use, okay. So after that, we solve for the x2. x2 is very similar. So we just copy this one. We just change something. Just change a little bit. So I just copy this one and I post here. So I change for to be 2 and this one 2 2 2 2, but we have to change this one to be minus. Okay, so this one to be minus, and what else? We have to change the numerator, right? This one to be number 2 and this one to be number 2, like this. Okay, so now if we finish for x1 and x2, so the next we will consider for discriminant equal 0. So say L if discriminant equals 0. In the case equals 0 is mean that we have one solution. So I say console write this one. I say C D equal 0. There is one new loop. There is one new root. There is one new loop like this, and after that I show that new just show double this one numerator equal minus b and double denominator equal 2 multiply a, and then you show the console write this one. We show daughter x equal minus b and then divide by 2 multiply A, this one, like this. So we say console.write this one x equal minus say here new numerator, right? And this one to be numerator. Okay, so after that, console write in here, say x equal, now we just do the calculations. New numerator, denominator, like this. So the next we'll consider in the case that less is not 0 and is greater than 0. So next we calculate about else, right? Else in L case. For the L case, we have the discriminant less than 0, right? So I say console right sin d 0. They are complex loops. They are complex loops. So to do that, we say double and we say leopard equal minus b divided by 2 multiply a, like this. Okay, so the next we say double and image part equal math dot square, that is minus discriminant and divide by 2 multiply a, like this. And after that we show the value, so we use console write this. And here we say x1 equal, say the real part, right, and plus image part, like this. And similar, I just copy this one for the loop number 2. Change to be minus, right? So now we complete for the complex loop and the real loop. So now it means that we end. So now we just copy this one. Copy this one and we say in here for n. So for x. So now let's run our program to see what will happen. So just Control F4 on the keyboard. So now you see that we have the run result like this. So it's a quadratic equation. So we app and say enter the following number. So number 1 say solve quadratic equation, and number 2 for exit the program. So to test that, I just put the number 1 that is, and for example I put 2 and minus 9 and 11. So you see that instead of quadratic equation, that is 1, right? And we say calculate discriminant. Use this formula. After that, we do the calculation like this. So you see that in this case the discriminant is less than 0. So it's a since discriminant is less than 0, they are complex loops, right? So the first one will be this, and the second one will be this one. So the next, for example, I want to calculate this. I just put 1 and minus 12 plus 4 like this. So when I put 1 minus 12 and 4, that my equation will be like this one. X power minus 12x plus 4 equals 0. So then we calculate the discriminant, and you see that the discriminant is 128, which is greater than 0. So we say since d is greater than 0, there are 2 real roots. So for the x1 we have to be like this, to this one, right? And for the x2 to be this one, the calculation. So after that, if so this is about the quotient calculation. So if you test the function number 2, first I put 2. We can say, do you want to exit the system? I say no. So come back again. So I put the number 2 again. I put yes. Then the program will end like this. Vector calculation app. Enter the following number. 1 vector calculation, 2 exit. For example, that I put the number 3. So the program will say try again. Please enter the number 1 or 2 only. So now I put the number 1. So the program asks me to enter the vector number. For example, I put the number 3. So the program say the vector of 3 will be 6. I see in here. So now I will do the vector calculation again. 1. So now I will try to put 13. So you see that you say the vector for 13 will be this number. And I put 1 again. Now I put minus 3. So that we're going to say please enter integer number that is greater than or equal to 0 only. So that means I put the number is not integer. So I will put again about 12. So that we're going to say the factor for the 12 will be this one. Okay. So now when I finish the factor calculation, I want to exit. I put the number 2. So now the program will ask me that, do you want to exit the system? Yes or no? For instance, I put no. So the program will continue to the calculation. Put the number 2 again. And now the program asks me again, do you want to exit the system? For example, I put a yes. So now the program will stop. In this script, we are going to create the factor calculation app. To do that, the first we are going to create the variable that you use in this script. So the first we are going to we will have the value n. N is mean the factor calculation number. And then what we have to do is about OPT, which is mean option to make the kind of calculation or kind of operation. Option to make the kind of operation. And the next we have the system. This one is mean that when the user finish the operation or finish the factor calculation, so the user want to exit, we use this variable to exit their program. So it means exit system when user finish operation. This. So let me just let this. So now we are going to create. So we declare the integer data type. We have n the first, and then we have OPT and exit system. And this one we give the initial value for 1. So what we are going to do the next, we are going to create the app wrap. So we are going to create the detail of the app. So we say app start like this. So when the app start, we use the while loop because we want to repeat again and again for our app. So we use while loop, sign true like this. And in here we write n app start like this. So inside the while loop we will write the detail of the app. So the first we are going to show message to the user that what is about this app. So I use a console write, and I say factor calculation app That is, and the next will show we tell the user that to put the number. So say enter the following number. That is, and then say console. Here we say number 1. We say factor calculation, like this. And for the number 2, say is like this. So if you choose the number 1, this means that you will do vector calculation. But you choose the number 2, that means you finish and you want to cease or you want to close the application. So we choose the number 2. So when we do that, we have to use that variable to get the value from the user. So our value in here, we say all option, right? So we use this one, option OPT, and it's convert dot to integer and say const dot read, like this. And then after you get the value, you have to separate the value. So I use the switch to the switch, this one, and OPT, this one. Then go here. So in here we say the kind of menu to make operation, that is. So inside here, so right in here and this one, I'll copy this one, just copy this one, in here, and inside here we have the first case. And break where, and then we have the second case, and we break the first case. We'll talk about to factor calculation. For the second we talk about is the system when user finish operation. And the next we say about the default break like this. For the default, we just want to tell the user, right? Tell user to enter number 1 or 2 only, like this. So this means that we have only 2 cases, number 1 and number 2, but when the user put the other number that is not number 1 and number 2, a program have to tell the user that please put the number 1 and 2 only. So now we are going to create the detail for the case number 1. For the case number 1, we'll do the factor calculation, right? So to do that, we have to ask the user, right, to put the number. So we have to write in here, but we have the condition that the number must be the integer. So when the user put the number that is not integer, we will ask back the user to put again. So to that, we have to use the while loop. So we say while loop in here, and we say true in this one, and use this. So, and after that, we will say console dot write, and we will ask the user to put, we say enter the factor number, like this. So when we ask to put the factor number, we use the we're able to get the value, so the value is n, right? So n equal convert dot to n 32, and say console dot read line like this. So after we get the value, we have to separate the value is integer or not. So in that case, we use the if statement to do that. So if n greater than or equal 0. So the case we show, right? We show the value, so we say console dot write here, and this one here is dollar, say n. After that we say this one n, and then we say factor and equal. Here we create a function or the method called factor like this, and we put in here for here and like this. So this one like factor, okay, and then we just enter new line, then we press the circle, and you see that we have the rate, or we have the error, right? And you see that we have the red line under the method factor in here, because we haven't created the detail of this method yet, so it will show the error like this. So we will do that after. So after we got the correct number, we have to use the break to exist the while loop, right? So we say break like this. So we say that, and so we use the else statement to, if the integer is not the integer, we tell the user to put again. So we say else this one. Okay, so in here we say console.write here, and we say please in the integer number, please enter integer number that is greater than or equal to 0, like this. Okay, and we enter a new line after finish this one. Okay, so now we finish for the else statement. So for the else statement, we don't use the break statement because we don't want to exist the while loop yet, and we will ask back the user to put the number that is integer. So now we complete for the case number 2. So in here, for the while loop in here, we mean that input, right? Input value, input factor number, the factor number. We say ask the user to input the factor number like this, and we just copy this one. So in here is mean that we end this one, right? Here we end this one like this. So okay, so now we are going to create, right, the detail of the method factor, this one, right? So to do that, we are going to create in here outside the main method, right? So we are going to create in here. So I say static, and I use long, and say factor, and in here we use for integer num, like this. After that, enter. So let's see. Okay, you see here This method is now no error, or you see that no the red line under the method name, because we already create is in here. So what to do the next, we are going to create the detail for the this method. So this method we do about the factory, right? Factor. So for the factor, we will use the if statement, and we say that if num equal 1 or num equal 0. If indicate like this, ask program to return 1. Okay, and else we will return after return the num and multiply factor and num minus 1, like this. So why? And in here you should know that for this statement you should know that here come in here, you should know that the factor of 1, right? Factor 1 is equal 1, and you should know that factor 0 equal 1, right? So whatever, when the number is 1 or 0, the factor, the result calculation of the factor must be 1. So we say that when the num is equal 0 or equal number 1, that means the return number of the calculation result should be 1 only. So we use this one. And for other, you see that we will use for example, that we have the factor of 3, right? Factor of 3, you should know that is equal and 3, right, minus 1, like this. 3 minus 1, and then multiply like this. 3 minus 2, and multiply until 3 minus 3, right? 3 minus 3. This until will be like this. So this is about the rule of the factor. So we will do like this. So in here, I mean these are just example like this. Okay, so the formula will be like this. So after that, we are going to do, let's check out for the case number 1. So you see that the case number 1, now we have no error, so everything seems to be fine. But what we are going to do the next is about the number 2, right? So the number 2 is mean that we want to assist the system. So to do that, we have to show the message to the user. So in here I say console dot write, and in here When you want to exit the system, we want to confirm to the user that do you really want to exit, right? So I show the message, do you want to exit the system? Ask the user like this. So after that, we ask the user console right, and we say in here yes or no, like this. But in here I just don't want to enter new line, so we put like this. So after that, when you ask the user to put a value, you have to declare the variable to get the value. So we use the string because it's yes or no. So it say yes or no equal console dot read line, like this. And after that, when you get the value, you have to separate that value. That value is yes or no. So to do that, we have to use the if statement. I said yes or no equal yes, right? If it equal yes, that means we want to stop. So if we want to stop it, just use the exist, this one, change to be 0. So 0 is mean the stop. So after that, we just enter a new line. In here say new line, like this. So now we seem to be finished, but not yet. We have to do this one. So when you want to exit, you just put this one is not finished yet. So you say to the outside to create this one to exit the system. So in here we say exit the system when users finish operation. So when you want to exit, that means you want to stop the app, right? So our app is controlled by the while loop, so we have to exit the while loop. We use the break statement. So in here we just say if exit this one equal 0. This means break. To exit the while loop, we just use the break statement. Okay, so now when this one 0 is mean we exist, and you see that the first value or the initial value of the system will be 1, right? Because when we put 1, this means that we continue to operate the system. But when we change the value to be 0, this means we want to stop the program. So we use that loop on off. So now we seem to be complete for the number 2 or case 2. So the next we are going to create the default number. So the default number is mean that when the user put the number that is not number 1 or number 2, we have to tell the user to put it again. So we use console dot read line in here, and we say try again, like this, try again, this one, and then we say console dot right, and in here we say please enter the number, please enter the number 1 or 2 only, like this. So after that, we have to enter a new line. So just push select N, like this. So now our program seems to be complete. Okay, let's check our program again. So we have no error, right? So let's run our program to see what will happen. So just Ctrl F5 on the keyboard. So now you see that our running result will be like this. So that you see the detail. So it's a vector calculation app and enter the following number. And the number 1 vector calculation, number 2 is this. So now I want to create do vector calculation. So I put the number 1. So say enter the vector number. For example, I want to 7. So now you see that the vector offset will be 5040 like this. And again, I want to number 1. For example, 13. So you see that the vector of 13 will be this number. And if I want to insist, I will put the number 2. And the program will ask me that do you want to insist the system? If I say no, go enter, and the program will come back for the calculation. But in here I put the number 2 again, and I say yes. So the program will be insist the system. This program is about draw pyramid. So the program say enter the following number: 1 draw pyramid, 2 insist. So when I want to draw the pyramid, I put the number 1 and say draw pyramid, enter value for height. For example, I put 9. So if you draw the pyramid like this, and again 1 and 18, so you'll be the bigger pyramid. So when we want to insist the program, I just put the number 2. So the program asks me that yes or no. So I just put no. And when I put 2 again and put yes, so the program will end, as you see in here. In the script, we are going to create the pyramid pattern in C# programming about console application. So to do that, the first we are going to declare the variable that we will use in the program. So in here, to do that, we have to define the h. H means the height of the pyramid, right? So we have a height of the P of the pyramid. And the next about OPT option for choosing the kind of operation. This means that the menu for the user, and we have the assist system, assist the system when user finish operation. So we have about this. So the next we will declare. So declare the integer h and opt option, and the last one is this system. This one equal 1. That is. So the next we are going to create the app, right? So we have to create like this app start like this. So for the app we have to use the while loop. So I just write this while loop. Okay, so in here we say and app start this one, and inside the while loop we'll write the detail about the program. So the first we'll show the message to the user. So it say console dot write in here, and it's a draw p pyramid like this. And the next we are going to say console right this one, and it say enter the following number, and then console dot in here we say run. What does it mean? For number one, this means we draw pyramid, and console dot write. Number two, we just have the two menu. Number two, we exist the app like this. So when you ask the user to put a value, you have to declare the variable to get the value. So in here we will use the option to get the value, convert to in 32, and in here we have the console dot read line, this one. So after that we have to separate that value, right? So I will use the switch, this one, and okay, so here we say option for choosing the kind of operation, and here we say and copy this one. You copy this one to paste. So this this section is about the operation. So we have the case number 1 and break, that is. So for the case number 1, we'll talk about draw pyramid, right? Draw pyramid, that is. And now we have the case number 2, and we have the break, that is. For the case number 2, we also have exist, right? Exist the system when user finish operation. And then we have the third one for the default case and break, like this. For the default case, we'll talk about tell the user, right? Tell user to input number 1 or 2 only, that is. So now we are going to create the first one. So to do this, we have to ask the user, right? So it's a console.write in here. Say draw pyramid, and then we ask the user to input the height of the pyramid. Console.write, enter value for height, right? And in here we use this one. So after that, we will declare the variable to get a value. So we already have hash, right? So hash convert to int32 and console dot read line, like this. So after we get the value, we will create a method to create a pattern for the pyramid. So for example, that I create the method called draw pyramid, right? Let's say draw pyramid in here, and I put h in here, like this. So now you see that we have the method, right? Draw pyramid. It has the error because we haven't created the detail of the method yet. So it will be like this. So the next we are going to create the detail of the draw parameter. So we go outside the main method, and in here I will create a static and a void. We say draw a pyramid. Let us create in H. Okay. So here I say and draw pyramid method like this. And now inside in here we have to create, and we will use the for loop to create. So the first, let's say for and in I equal 1 and I is less than or equal H, and here I plus like this. So the next we are going to create the space for in J equal I, and then J less than or equal H is the height, right, and J plus like this. In here we just create the space of console dot right, this one just create here. This one. So the next we will create about the pattern by using the start. So say for and say in K equal 1 and K less than or equal to multiply I, right, and minus 1 and K plus like this. But in here we just console dot right. So inside here we say start right and plus like this. So after that you enter a new line, console dot right like this. So what we do in here, control the law, right? Control the number of our law. Control the number of laws for the pyramid, right? For the pyramid, and the next you have to print the space. So print space before start printing, like this. And the next, this one is a print start. Print start to create the pyramid, right? Pyramid. And the next, this one, enter a new line to create the next. Enter a new line to print the next pattern of pyramid. Okay. So in here is say and just copy this one. Is control the number of law, or just mean that the height of the pyramid, right? So now we complete the method draw pyramid. So we are going to see inside the main method, and you see that the method here, right, you have no error now, so that means it's okay. So I just comment in here that call the method, to create the pyramid, right? Pyramid. And so the case 1 is finished, so we are going to create the number 2. So the number 2, when the user exits the system, so we say console dot write and do you want to exit the system? We ask the user that do you want to exit the system, and console dot write. Here they are, yes or no. That is. And now we declare the variable to get the value. So string, this one, yes or no equal console dot read line, like this. Okay, so after that we have to separate that value is yes or no. So I will use the if statement. If yes or no equal yes, so we will stop the program. So we change the variable EC system to be 0. Right, 0 is mean stop. So after that we just console dot right, we enter a new line like this. And this one I say enter a new line to show the main menu, right? That is. So when we want to exist the program, that means we have to stop the while loop. So we have to do this outside here. If exist this one equal 0, right? So we say break. If we break, this means we exist the while loop for the app. So I say exist the system when user finish operation, like this. Okay, so now since we finished for the case number 2, and we have to create the case number 3, or the default number. The default number is mean that we will tell the user to input the number 1 or 2 only. That means, for example, that the user put the number that is not 1 or 2, such as 3, 4, 5, or -2, like this. So we have to say console dot write. Let's say try again, like this. Try again, and then console dot say please enter number 1 or 2 only, like this. And then we enter new line. So now it seems that we complete for the program. So now we check that it has error or not. So it seems that it has no error. And for this one, you just put here control console dot this one, just say enter a new line to show main menu. So let's run our program by press Ctrl F5 on the keyboard. So now you see that the running result will be like this. So we just this. So the program say draw pyramid F, enter the following number. 1 draw pyramid, 2 exists. So when I want to draw, I put 1. So you say draw pyramid, enter the value for height. For example, I put 9. So you draw the pyramid like this for me. So the next, if I want to draw again, and I put 18 like this. So you see that the pyramid is bigger, right? And again, and I put 22. So the pyramid is even bigger. So now I want to receive. I put the number 2. The program said, do you want to exit the system? Yes or no? For example, I put no. So the program will continue to draw the pyramid. So that's why it shows the menu, right? So I put the number 2 again, and now this time I put yes. So now the program will be end.